I'm gonna hope we don't run into problems like we did last night where internet just was wonky. Although I realized one thing that might have made internet wonky on my end was I had both Steam and Epic Game Store open, and I don't like I had no reason for either of those to be open last night. But it's kind of a yeah, I understand a lot of bandwidth being taken from stream with both of those open. And honestly, like the only reason I think I mentioned this before, at least to Phantom. The only reason I really have Epic Game Store is because they'll have free games that I'm actually interested in. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not an amazing web store. It's not an amazing alternative to Steam, but one of the few benefits of it is it has free games and I can actually add those games to my Steam library. I mean, it still requires me to open the Epic Game Store every time I want to access those games, but I still have access to those games, so can't really complain too much.
Right.
Mm, yep. Internet's being wonky.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything.
Mm, I mean, hopefully it won't be too bad. I just hope I don't run into the same problem I had last night.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But honestly, as long as you guys can hear me, shouldn't be too big a deal. Hey, look, we can actually see this full cutscene. I I don't want to skip it because I actually like this little intro that they have.
Reach out. This is the weapon of a Jedi.
It would have been nice if I actually was able to show this intro in like the first stream instead of, you know,
Elegant weapon.
technically the sixth.
Civilized age.
Yeah.
Good against
That's
the
still a
monsters
nice
one
intro.
way, good against the living, that's something else.
Also, I love that these epic lightsaber duels are actually much cooler than the real lightsaber duels in the game because
Yeah.
it's taking the situation like these scenes a lot more seriously than the game does, where the game is like it's a Lego game. Yeah, it'd be a little goofier.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone to show me.
Still, they're like some of the scenes, some of the fights are still good. It's just like, man, this is kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, but yeah, because of wait, is it actually gonna start over the episode for me?
Maybe.
I can't remember. Oh, the story so far. So it's gonna it'll recap what I did recently.
Yeah.
Revealing Luke's sisters, Leia.
Did you say Luke's sister is Leia?
Luke's sister is Leia.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I think you mean the Gospel of Luke and Bong Day.
Oh yeah, Gospel of Luke's sister is Bong Day.
That Imperial agent fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, so because last night's session was a little wonky.
A Fuster clock.
I don't want to say a fuster clock.
I do, just because it's a funny word. Fuster clock.
I mean, yeah, you got me there. It is funny. But I'm basically I'm going to redo the episodes or the levels that I've done in free play, and then so I am going to insert. I'm gonna try and find the cutscenes for the actual overworld missions or the overworld cutscenes that we don't get to see because I technically already did them. I'm gonna essentially cut them in here.
Splice those into the re-up.
Yeah, I'm gonna splice them into the re-upload here. Um, and then so people get the context, but or like get the context of what happens between the episodes or levels. But otherwise, we're gonna see the free play levels.
Yeah.
I mean, chances are by the time you hear us again, you will already have seen those cutscenes. But fuck it.
Yep.
I still wish there was a way. Like it's one of the few things that actually bothers me of this game. They don't have a way to re-experience any story elements that aren't in the levels.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, to be fair, there's not much story that you're completely missing out of, but it's still kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Well, this is awkward.
Oh, why the fuck? When the fuck do you get a plastics factory? Wait, it's 1945. It should be available to fucking buy a goddamn plastics factory.
What?
Nothing. I'm just playing my game, and I'm just kind of confused of why I'm not seeing an industry that I can buy. Fuck it, so just go for the oil refinery. And I don't have that much money. There.
You're playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, right? What is that on?
Railroad Tycoon free. It's on Steam, so it's on PC.
Why did I say Roller
The
Coaster
only gods
Tycoon?
that can make a cape look
Well,
good.
probably the only Tycoon game you know. It's the most famous.
No, I know a lot of Tycoon games. I mean,
The most real ones really
my
need
personal
some
favorite
loose
Tycoon
balls.
game is still Jurassic World Evolution, because
Oh,
that's a fun game.
yeah.
I mean, it's not the best. There are certainly better there are better Tycoon games, but it's fun for what it is. I like it.
Yeah.
That and granted, I think the only reason I got a chance to play Jurassic World Tycoon um is because it was one of the free games with gold at one point
Right.
when I was still messing with Xbox games.
hmm
Well, it was.
Speaking of games with gold, you know what I just got for games with gold?
What?
An
Star
actual.
Wars Episode 1 Racer.
I was gonna say,
Oh, right.
an actual reason for Xbox Live Gold, as opposed to the last couple of months where most of the games kind of just suck.
Gold, the games with gold comes with Game Pass.
Oh, I know it comes with Game Pass. My point isn't whether or not it comes with Game Pass. My point is whether or not the games are actually worth it.
Oh yeah, no, the games with gold, the past couple months have been shit I've never heard of and shit I would never touch.
Yeah, and I for a while there were rumors that it was because Xbox is trying to phase out games with gold. At least this month they have Episode 1 Racer, which is, to be fair, like a fucking Nintendo 64 era game, but it's at least a good Nintendo 64 era game, as opposed to what they've had last couple months. I think.
I haven't opened it yet, but if I feel like doing a racing game, I'll play it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's at least a good.
But I'm not big on race. I'm not big on racers.
No, I get that. But for me it's still at least a good game, and it gives you a reason to play. It gives you an actual reason to get a game for gold, as opposed to last couple months where most of the games for gold are just kind of. I don't want to say entirely terrible, but it's just like either they're games that most people.
Questionable.
Yeah, they're questionable at best.
Right.
Which is kind of funny when PlayStation Plus has better free games for a month. The downside is, eh, with games with gold, one of the good things with it is even if you lose your subscription, you still have access to those games. Whereas stuff like PlayStation Plus, if you lose the subscription, um, you can't play the games. You have to renew the subscription to play the games. Speaking of which, I need to see what this month's games were for PlayStation Plus.
Right.
Because I think last month one of the games was like Meet Your Maker, which is a game a game that I actually was interested in trying, so it gave me a chance to say fuck it, I'm gonna I have it free with PlayStation Plus, so I'll at least give it a try.
Yeah.
But I don't
You're
I don't-
out over there?
John picked me up, stabbed me twice, and then slammed me into the ground.
Oh, okay.
Ow.
So, no. Am I okay? No. Will I be okay? No. No, I won't.
I mean technically, but there's a chance you could be okay, but a chance of being okay doesn't instantly mean you're gonna be okay.
Right.
Yeah, not unless I can escape this thing, like, here in the next 5 seconds.
Right. Oh, and if anyone's wondering why I just am kind of just why I'm kind of just wandering around instead of actually doing the story, I'm trying to get collectibles and I don't remember how to get certain collectibles.
Right.
I believe this is
Hey, at least
I
we
never
now,
figured things out. I just bumbled my way through doing things.
as you do.
Yeah.
But at least now I have an excuse to, uh, yeah. At least now I have an excuse to pad out the runtime and actually show off the
Yep.
full game instead of actually show off the game instead of showing off like either ending stream early or showing off random bullshit that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Beepity boopity. Boopity beep boop boopity bop.
But the rainbow shit's my favorite.
I mean, technically we are still showing off random
I am
bullshit, but
6 million forms of communication and
at least in this way,
expression.
at least in this case, it's random bullshit that relates to the game.
Right.
Protocol droid and disintegrated his
Well, that doesn't exist.
guard. This protocol droid might be useful. Fit him with a restraining bolt and take him back to His Excellency's main audience chamber. You're a feisty little one, but you'll soon learn some respect.
This is fucking weird. Uh, strange question.
Yeah.
Do either of you know why uh, Jedi and Sith were the only ones to use lightsabers?
Uh,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a
cultural
very
elitist.
no. It's a
No.
complicated history. Give me a moment.
I mean, I was mostly joking, but
Yeah, but there's like a fucking history behind the fucking shit. At
we've
least
established
legends wise.
we've established that like I don't pay attention to like extended lore stuff. But I am actually curious.
It's
Okay.
because there are.
Uh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
Right. It's the thing is there's a precursor to the lightsaber that's called the Force Saber. It was made by
I know.
the Rakata. They were one of the earliest spacefaring races in galactic history. Uh, but you know, the first lightsabers came into being in the Jedi Order. Not the Jedi you're faking of, but like the precursor of the Jedi. That was basically Jedi, but spelled very differently.
Ah, yes, the
Uh,
Jidi.
I, I don't know. It's J-E apostrophe D-A-I-I.
Huh.
I know.
Yeah, and
I'm mostly joking.
I know, but it's like fucking
It, it,
Walker wanted an explanation of where lightsabers came from, and
no,
I'm
no.
just giving
I
it to
mean,
Oh
you.
no,
I was joking with the
I
pronunciation.
didn't want an explanation as to where lightsabers came from. I know all this stuff.
I mean,
Okay.
I wanted an
I asked if
explanation.
you know why, like, normal people didn't adopt lightsabers for close quarters combat. Because there's that actual reason for it.
Uh, because I'm pretty sure it requires specific for a specific ritual to do it, and it's like
Now,
yeah. So the reason why only Jedi and Sith carry lightsabers is because you know there's a very specific ritual they have to do.
no, it's just hard to wield without the force.
I guess.
Well, I'm wondering if I'm wondering if it's a if it's different depending on like Legends canon or whatever. Because I thought I I always kind of wondered if it had anything to do with no, probably
If that had anything to do with what?
I mean, it's not like
hang on, I'm kind of distracted with a couple other things.
Back off.
Shit, what am I thinking of? I always thought it was kind of a only Jedi can control the length of a lightsaber sort of thing.
No,
In
that's governed by the emitter.
yeah, and that theory of mine alone would be kind of shot in the foot when you consider the sequel trilogy. Because
No.
if that were if what I said were the case, then Finn wouldn't have been able to wield a lightsaber.
Well, they were setting him up to be force sensitive, but then they just
Yeah,
completely abandoned it.
biggest fucking one of the biggest fucking missed opportunities of the entire sequel trilogy. I think me and Phantom brought it up on in one of the sessions
yeah.
before. Like it still pisses me off. Like not I know people are like, oh, they should have made Finn and who's his face a gay couple, and I would have liked that. I would not have been upset, but I think the bigger missed opportunity is having Finn be force sensitive. Because having a character who starts off as a stormtrooper ending up being a force sensitive character would have been so fucking cool.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
they had to chicken out
That-
because of fan backlash, and it's like, man, at that point, it's like, why'd you even?
See, I'm not sure if it's due to fan backlash to Finn, because everyone that I
Well,
know
not even
loves Finn.
not even fan backlash to Finn. It's Ryan Johnson, who did Last Jedi, kind of wanted to do his own story, more or less, and it I think it kind because a lot of the vocal Star Wars fans were upset. A lot of the overly vocal Star Wars fans were upset that Last Jedi ruined their childhood, even though it actually didn't. It fits fairly well in canon. Um, but those vocal fans were just upset because gotta complain about something.
No. I feel like there's another reason for that. Because if it's like, this is Disney we're talking about, they're not gonna fucking listen to like that many fucking conspiracy.
Well,
That
well,
they could
well,
do to
well, the other thing
let me
is like,
talk.
all right, sorry, Phantom.
Like, let me get to my point.
Yeah,
But it's
no,
like
get
there's a certain country in Asia that is one of the biggest countries in the world, and Hollywood seems very tight ship with them. So that they will follow their will downplay or remove LGBT or African American or just black characters because it doesn't fit the cultural norms over there. This includes Disney.
right. No, yeah, you've got a really good point. It also explains why I'll do the Gawk droid.
Yeah, because yeah, because you see in certain films, like when there's like today, when there's an LGBT relationship, it always seems to be in the scene that could be easily cut away.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
yet, that is
and
the purpose.
that's which would also explain why something like Strange World got little to no marketing because the main character in Strange World was a gay character.
Exactly, and China does well. They really hate, well, the government at least really hate LGBT people.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Same with
you've got
governments in the Middle East.
that. That's much more accurate. Well, and
You're a real shame if I were to suddenly.
for me,
Whoa,
I think the
what are you
bigger
gonna do
problem
with the
is like that doesn't it feels weird that they would also that because of that they would cut out even a hint that Finn was force sensitive in later films.
I mean, yeah, but it still helps because if Finn was a main character by this point, then Chinese government ain't really gonna accept that.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, as a bisexual person myself, knowing that we're just essentially being fucking, I guess, tools essentially. They're trying they're trying to prop us. The companies are trying to prop LGBT people. It's like, oh, we do support them, yet they're
No, you
still
don't.
going to cut away those characters to show them in countries that are very sensitive towards people like
Well,
us.
and the other thing that drives me nuts is you got a lot of and I don't want to get too political, but you can't have this conversation. You can't have a conversation like this without at least mentioning stuff like this. It drives me nuts with stuff like a lot of right wing nut jobs, even in America, being upset with LGBTQ representation. Um, because it makes it funny when Disney announced, oh, this character, like, we're gonna have a gay character in this movie, and a lot of people, like, even in America, get so bent out of shape about them adding a gay character, and that character is on screen for like 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes, like
Yeah,
5 seconds.
yeah, but then again, these are the more radical kinds of people. Like,
Yeah,
I have looked at I'm gonna say polling, and that actually, like, a lot of people in America do accept LGBT relationships. They
oh
do
yeah,
accept them.
I
Like,
know,
almost
I
all the country at this point. It's just the radical assholes who just fucking go out and say shit like that because they're losing power.
yeah, um, and it just kind of some of it is just like people being assholes for the sake of being assholes.
Exactly.
Um,
And it's like, well, it's also other people who are trying to be grifters for these types of people, and probably do not actually give a shit, and
yeah,
they're just there to steal money out of these fucking conservative people. Because I've been seeing that a lot recently. It's like, and I've realized that many of these grifters don't actually care.
yeah,
They just want their money. They'll say shit, but they probably don't care.
yeah. Um, changing topic real quick. Back
Right.
hopefully back to the game for a second. That and I like I said, I don't want to get too political. Um,
It's understandable.
so I know you guys are playing your games, but this is Max Rebo's little keyboard. Uh, does this just have a demo mode, or is this implying that he's faking it the entire time?
Uh, Maybe it's a demo mode. I mean, if it's like a synthesizer, many synthesizers have a demo mode.
Well, if his like Max Rebo's keyboard is on the side.
I mean, it has. Oh, fuck it. I mean, since we're there at that time, like
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
when the
I know. I'm more just trying to think like would. Hmm. Food for thought in that case. Anyway, defrosting con again.
okay, I found the fucking what it's called. It's called organ. Yeah, it
What?
says here it was able to store tracks and sound recordings, so
Someone
yeah,
who
he
loves
could
you.
just be fucking. He could be actually playing it, but when he's like break, he could just be like fucking hitting something to play a recording for the people.
Yeah, so uh, in a way, it's kind of a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. So
Yeah,
it's not that Max Rebo is faking it. It's that he has it set up to he has it set up where if he needs to take a break, he can take a break, but still have his music
yeah,
played.
Because he's played the music himself. He's just gotten it recorded onto his equipment so he can play it back later.
yeah,
Well,
So it's
and
not so much fake.
yeah,
He's playing his own tracks.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of it's like we said. It's less that he's faking it, and more of a he probably has it set up so if he needs to take a break, he can take a break.
I've never seen such a
yeah. If
thing
he needs to
before.
like just go take a piss break or something.
Yeah, because I know I know artists will have it set up where it's like, all right, we're gonna just play like samples of our music
Yeah,
temporarily in this segment. Um,
You will bring Captain Solo and
okay, if you are paying attention to the stream, um, you can like look closely. It's just Lando disguised as a potted plant.
yeah. That's
No, and I love his disguise. Literally involves like it in this game. It's basically just Lando's head on top of a regular Lego plant. Like not even his full outfit, just his head. So it kind of comes off as they decapitated Lando, and yet his head is still alive, like fucking Futurama.
yeah.
Yep, time to fight a Rancor. It's actually kind of interesting to me that you can unlock a Rancor to mess around with in
Yeah.
free roam. And it's one of the weirder things because in a lot of the in a lot of the Lego games when they have what are referred to as big figs like this, um, they'll have like minifigure versions of it. No, like the Rancor is legitimately the actual larger model.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of funny to me.
yeah.
Uh, but it also you can't use the you can't spawn the Rancor in certain places. Like
Oh,
if it's like a smaller room, it won't let you spawn the Rancor. But it for me it's kind of a yeah they do that so you don't like glitch the model out or something.
right. That makes sense.
Or like boundary break with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me destroy my favorite game by playing as a bigger character. Uh,
No, you have to do that in the PC version where you can modify the game to do shit like that.
that's the last mistake you'll ever make.
Hey, look, it's Cactus Lando.
Yeah.
if I'm modifying the game, I'm giving all the Legos tits.
Oh my.
As you do.
Oh my God.
All
Lando Cactus. Lando Cactisian.
oh for
Phantom, thank you.
Yeah, it's like I just realized it right now. Like it's probably not what they were implying, but I just like to think that that's what they were trying to go for.
They're
Man,
our best chance at finding the base.
Fine, but I'm keeping my eye on this guy.
that's funny. I'm more upset because it's like I've been playing this game for a fucking year and I didn't catch on to that.
Yeah.
That's not the worst pun I've heard. I've heard some terrible fucking puns.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, and to be fair, that's kind of the fun with stupid puns like that. Hang on, I need to. There we go. I hate that I keep forgetting to do that. Like, I start streaming and I forget to switch my avatar model over to the one where he's actually playing the game.
Yeah.
I'll get used to it eventually.
Mhm.
I need to figure out how to set up a personal soundboard on my end where I'm not just using sounds from the
Oh
Discord channel.
yeah, from Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that way I can have more sounds that aren't just that I can have sounds that you guys request in the Discord, but I can have sounds that I want to use for my own.
Yeah.
Um, I need to get like a Stream Deck soundboard thing so I can have custom sounds, but I can also have that set up to swap between avatar models.
Yeah.
Well,
Makes
looks like
sense.
Anakin's fighting Boba Fett. It is weird to me that they set like custom not custom. They set random characters to the when you hit free play, it's like here, have this random character. I don't want this random character. I want a different character. No, you get this random character. Alright, the game wants me to be shooting at something out here, and I don't know what. Weird. Okay, the hell am I supposed to be shooting at?
Hello?
Hola.
Did you disconnect me from the voice?
No.
That was weird.
No, I don't disconnect people from voice. They leave of their own accord.
I didn't. I got kicked.
I'm wondering if it might have been a connection issue then. Oh, Gonkle, buddy, I missed you since.
Hooray! Another stem canister for BD. Woo!
What?
Oh, I completed a puzzle that I've been trying to do this entire time.
Sorry, I had to do
And
something. What did I miss?
I got
Walker.
randomly disconnected from the Discord.
Yeah, Walker got
And then I
disconnected for a
completed a
second.
puzzle.
Oh.
So all in all,
but it's
not
okay.
really much.
Oh, okay.
But hey, I solved the puzzle.
Nice.
Yeah.
I may or may not have been I might not have been supposed to solve that puzzle yet.
Yeah.
Because there was like no hints, no indicators, nothing to like be like, hey, this is how you solve that puzzle.
Oh, right.
I had to do my normal thing and brute force it like a dumbass.
I mean, if it works, it works.
God, I just now got reminded of God of War, like the newest one, and how they just fucking like if you don't do it after like 5 seconds, they'll just like explain the puzzle for you, which is really annoying.
That's dumb. Is there a way to turn something
I
like that
mean,
off?
Uh, I'm not sure.
Because if not, that's like I I know people criticize like modern games for holding your hand, but that's ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I did also like there was an article that came out like I think months later, and it's and the devs were saying like, yeah, we did not expect it to be that annoying. Like we didn't know it would be that annoying for a lot of people.
5 fucking seconds though? That's
It was either like 5 or 10 seconds. So
yeah,
it's like
but
after.
that's still what if you pause the game? What if you leave to do something?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, at least in this game, they ask if you want a hint from BD.
Okay, well that's good. If they're asking, hey, do you want a hint about this? Then yeah,
I
sure.
mean, they didn't ask me if I wanted a hint for the puzzle I just completed, which is another reason why I think I wasn't supposed to do it yet. But on the map, it was marked as an open path, so
Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, it could also be a difference between game developers. Like one game developer is like, yeah, we're gonna like they're clearly having trouble. We're gonna give them we're gonna give them a hint. Whereas other game developers are like, no, we're gonna let them figure it out by themselves. So
Yeah.
well, I think EA did it right. They didn't like force us to. They didn't force me to. You know, they didn't shove the solution to the puzzle in my face.
what are
They
you
did
Right.
say, "Hey, do you want a hit?"
what are you playing right now? Are you playing
Jedi Survivor.
okay. Which I do want to get a copy of that game. I know once I'm done with Lego Star Wars, outside of showing off some of the other spin-off games, and more probably gonna give certain games like just a session. Um, like the next big game that I plan on doing this month is the first Star Wars Jedi game.
Right.
And I don't mean like
Fallen Order.
The Jedi Knight games, which those are good games.
Oh,
But I mean like the other games, like the AA Jedi games.
Yeah.
yeah. So Fallen Order.
Yeah. Um because that's the only game I have. Well, it's not the only other Star Wars game I have. I have Racer's Revenge, which is technically a sequel to Episode 1 Racer.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually uh I think it's supposed to canonically take place between Episode 1 and 2. But it's all right. Um
How,
but one of
how
the
am I
other
supposed to make?
one of the other games that I was going to show off was
Uh,
losing train of thought. One of the other games I was going to show off was going to be I was gonna devote a one stream session to Star Wars Demolition on the PS1
Oh, right.
because holy crap, that is a game. I liked it when I liked what I messed with in that game, but it is certainly a weird fucking game at times.
What game?
Star Wars Demolition. It's basically what if Twisted Metal, but with a Star Wars skin. It's good. Like I liked what I played, but it's fucking weird at times. I mean, th-
Oh,
this is a
that's where I was supposed to find the solution.
this is a game where one of the vehicles is literally just fucking Boba Fett with a jetpack. And I don't mean like and I mean like Boba Fett with a jetpack against a literal fucking tank. It's gorgeous and I love it.
Yeah.
All right, now where was that gonk droid?
I kind of want to. I think the name of the game is Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Oh yeah, that's another great game.
I don't know what I can get it on, but I want to get it on
Uh,
something.
I need to see because there's a decent chunk of Star Wars games available. In fact, there's a decent chunk of Star Wars games available on Switch, and a lot of them are currently last I checked are on sale. First off, I need to see if they're still on sale because if they are, that's great. Um, he says not having the money for them, but oh fuck, I want to yeah. All right, I need one more platform then. Can't think. Um, is there? Oh, right. I can just lift the. Why did I forget that? There you go, Gonkle, buddy. Um,
Why is this here?
I can actually pause the game, pull up my Switch, and see what's available on that. And then, right. I'm going to hope and pray that the last collectible I need is R2. Get up here. Don't sass me. Get up here. Star Wars.
I don't know why, but Walker, when you did that, I just imagined like a fucking goldfish that's like in a fucking robotic, fish tank that moves around, just like fucking sassing me for some reason.
All right. So you have an
I'm
entire.
sorry. Goldfish.
All right, you have a day left to get the Star Wars Heritage Pack at sale price. It normally goes for about $80. It's currently on sale for 40. Games included are Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, Jedi Knight 1 and 2, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, Republic Commando, and Force Unleashed.
I would love to do that. Can I borrow $40?
Bitch, if I had $40, I would be getting that collection myself.
I know that's the joke.
Um, but that's pretty decent bundle. I mean, to be fair, one of the games in that bundle is literally just one of the games in that bundle is um so the Force Unleashed port on Switch is an interesting case to me.
It's probably the Wii,
It is the
a
Wii
port of
game.
the Wii version.
It's a port of the Wii game, but having upscaled graphics. And I think it's like a weird hodgepodge of the Wii game and the HD the HD game. Like it uses the HD textures.
Graphics.
Yeah, the HD textures and graphics, but it's um the version of the game is a Wii a modified version of the Wii game. I can't remember if I'm trying to remember if those ports of older Knights of the Old Republic were any good, because I can't remember if the modern ports of those games were good. Like I somehow vaguely remember hearing that those that the
You were cutting out kind of bad.
yeah, I hope that came in
Yeah, man.
good.
Sort of.
Um. Anyway, what I was saying was I need to see if the I vaguely remember hearing that the shit, losing train of thought. I vaguely remember hearing that those versions of Knights of the Old Republic, the modern remasters, weren't that great. I also could just be misremembering. I kind of hope I'm misremembering.
Perhaps.
I mean, could certainly be worse.
Come on.
I think I missed a collectible somewhere.
Let's go. And don't forget the droids. We're on our way.
Oh well. I mean, the entire point isn't to 100% complete the free play missions at this point. The goal right now is it literally is just
I'll
to
meet you back in the fleet.
show off the missions or show off the levels. So
Yeah.
Dude, this planet is so like it's your typical sand planet. There's some really cool shit on this planet. Like I just jumped supposed to because the wind carried into this room,
You really
the
think
mountain,
beats balls?
and the wind is making these ruins sing.
They're our best chance at finding the base.
That's just
I meant to ask, is Mark Hamill in the new in Jedi Survivor?
what?
Is Mark Hamill in the game?
Like Luke? I, yeah, I haven't gotten,
Well, from what I heard, they actually got.
or at least
I remember seeing behind the scenes stuff of them doing mocap, and Mark Hamill was actually there while they were doing
Chewie and I will
mocap.
take
So
care of this. You stay here.
well, I don't know nothing about it.
okay.
Again, if Luke's here, I haven't seen him.
Okay.
Freeze. Come on.
Hey, look, it's that one guy from Rogue One.
Oh, yeah, everyone knows that. Yes.
Well, that's vague. Who the hell are you talking? Or is
Um,
that the joke? Is
that
that team?
honestly, I actually couldn't. I don't remember the guy's name. It's the droid for the record. I don't. I had no idea if Phantom was paying attention to the stream and could see who I was talking about.
Okay. Uh, I can't help you. I don't know what. I don't know what you're looking at.
Have you seen Rogue One?
I just said no.
Oh, never mind then. Phantom, have you seen Rogue One?
No.
So, so hang
That
on.
is like the only salt.
So nobody in this Discord call has actually seen Rogue One.
I thought you'd seen it.
No, I
Then
have
why'd you
mentioned.
make a Rogue One joke if you...
No, I wasn't even making a Rogue One joke. I was saying I was literally playing as a character from Rogue One. I like I could not remember the name of the character. I was saying I was playing as this character from Rogue One at, as a way of saying no, I'm serious. I'm literally playing as this character right now.
Oh.
I couldn't remember the name, and the best way I could describe the character is he is the droid from Rogue One. Because yeah,
I'm gonna have to look.
it it might be vague, but saying the droid from Rogue One is still like that at least would explain this is the character I'm talking about. Because
Oh, K2SO, which is a... Hold on, I've been fighting them. Let me...
I'm also watching a clone trooper die to stormtroopers. Well, not stormtroopers, but whatever the troopers were on that they were fighting on Endor. Because I know there's stormtroopers, there's sand troopers, there's stormtroopers, and I can't remember any other.
Is it the ones with the kind of square heads?
Any on how to drive these things?
Kind
Square
of.
helmets?
I want to say yes.
Scout Trooper?
Yes, Scout Trooper. Thank you. It is a Scout Trooper. Because I know for a fact they sure as hell aren't Sand Troopers.
That's them taken care of.
What other kind of troopers are there?
There's Scout Troopers, there's Storm Troopers, there's Sand Troopers, there's Flame Troopers, there's Snow Troopers,
There's the Imperial
Shore
Commandos.
there's Shore Troopers, there's the Purge Troopers that were exclusively made to hunt Jedi.
Ah, so the people who they send in because they know somebody fucked up listening to Order 66.
And by the way, that droid you were playing as is a KX series Imperial security droid.
Oh, don't forget the Death Troopers.
Uh, oh, I also forgot about the jetpack trooper.
A lot less
If I found the brakes on this thing, I would have stopped by now. Sorry, yelling at the game.
It's
Have you tried braking?
Well, to be fair, I think I did run into an AT-AT at one point, but other than that, no.
See, braking isn't crashing isn't braking, and
I
braking
know
isn't
crashing
crashing.
isn't break. I know crashing isn't braking. You can tell by the scars on my face. And legs. And arms. Basically like
And the fact
90%.
that you're dead.
Basically like 90% of my body. Oh, speaking of AT-AT. There it is again. Good old at.
The all-terrain armored transport.
You know, I actually forgot that's what the abbreviation stands for. You know, it occurred to me, did we come up with a funny name for episode 6, or did we
no,
just,
we haven't.
I think Walker suggested calling it Last Jedi as a joke,
Oh,
Sure.
Well,
but,
yeah, because there was that post that was like the names of the Star Wars movies are in the wrong order, and the guy explained that Return of the Jedi, Luke, Yoda died, and Darth Vader turned and then died, so Luke is the Last Jedi.
yeah,
Do you
Luke is
understand anything
technically,
they're saying? Oh, yes,
Luke
Mr.
is technically
They
not
are
sure.
now part of the tribe.
Leia.
Hmm.
Alright, and with that, we are all caught up, story-wise.
Hooray!
Woo!
Fantastic clap. Then again, I can't even access the soundboard Xbox.
Phantom might be able to.
Trust these fuzzballs?
Chewie's right. They're our best chance at finding the
I mean,
base.
I could
Fine.
technically access the
Keeping my eye
soundboard,
on
but
this guy.
I don't want to mess with that right now.
Huh. This is mildly terrifying.
What, death?
Sort of. At the bottom of these ruins, the wind has gotten so violent that there's lightning
good idea.
inside this cave.
This shouldn't be too much trouble. You stay here.
I'm sorry, no, I'm laughing. Like, Han kept throwing rocks at a scout trooper, and the scout trooper wasn't paying attention, so Chewie just threw a fucking boulder at him.
Oh, okay.
I feel sorry for that scout trooper. I mean, it's funny, but doesn't stop me from feeling sorry for him. Yay, I finally have access to... I'm finally on the level where I can actually create the things that the scavengers use. So now with this, I can screw around and... There's a train of thought. Now with this, I can actually screw around in the open levels Yeah, no, I just completely lost my train of thought there. That was weird. Um, I can screw around in the open levels and actually get all of the collectibles now
Yeah.
instead of having to wait for specific. I am still annoyed that they force you to play through either episode 6 or episode 7 before it gives you access to the scavenger tools. Like there's apparently no other way to access the scavenger tools, even though by that point you would have characters that are scavengers if
Oh
you've been messing
no.
with huh.
Uh, I just unlocked Air Dash.
Neat. That's not what I meant to do. Let's see, wooden hammer or Ewok horn. Giant wooden mallet.
Yeah, sure, Amy. What were you saying?
I honestly, whatever I was saying was nothing really important. Well, I was talking to Phantom, in which case,
Yeah.
well, I just killed a bunch of stormtroopers with a couple spotlights.
Yep.
Not only that, a couple stormtroopers that were just at a campfire. All right, time to build another scavenger gadget. It is saddened. It is sad to me that it has actually gotten to such a point. It has gotten so quiet that the only commentary left is just people fucking belching in the Discord chat.
I guess it's like I don't know what to say. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I mean, it's almost like all three of us are doing different things. Like
Well,
I,
I'm not now.
oh,
I mean, I could talk about what I'm doing as well, but you don't want spoilers, and I don't really want to talk about what I'm doing
I never said
because
I never said I didn't want spoilers. It's probably safer that I don't have spoilers. Although, granted, I still haven't even played through the entirety of the first. I haven't played through Jedi Fallen Order yet, so.
okay, so here's what happens: your poncho's gone. It's the best character in the entire game. Don't at me.
Like I haven't played that fucking series, so I don't know, and honestly, I don't care.
Well, I was also gonna say, like, to be fair, like I understand you guys not talking because in a lot of cases there's just not much to say.
Yeah.
That'll never fucking get old.
I now have access to a giant. What the fuck, man? My aim's terrible right now. How do I describe this?
What,
Chicken,
having terrible aim?
chicken legs. Giant chicken legs. No, not having terrible aim. Describing me having terrible aim, it would be just saying I've been playing video games again.
Yeah.
I think I got it. I got it.
Then again, that's all. I can't say that's all of us because I don't know how Phantom's aim is.
I love you.
But there's a reason I play melee characters.
Hey, you have better aim than I do.
Okay, in the real world, my aim is.
No. I mean, even in video games, you have better aim than I do. Your aim could still be shit, but you still have better aim than I do in most games.
Yeah.
This is a rebel that
That would be really nice to do on stream, but would require you getting your Xbox back,
Leave us.
or at least
The Emperor has been
getting it back working, getting cords for it and shit.
Yeah.
Multiplayer night doing Battlefront 2.
I can't remember if I. Oh, I would still need. I would also need.
Let go of your hate, father.
It is too late. For
Wouldn't I still need Xbox Gold?
The Emperor will show you the true nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's less that I would need.
Step aside. I wish to speak to the Emperor.
Less that I need the Xbox work, and I'd also need multiplayer, which that in and of itself.
I mean,
But they must be around here somewhere.
I could get you a temporary card for gold if they still sell them. I don't know if they still sell them. Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Have I been sleep unlocking doors again? I can't keep doing this.
I'd forgotten we increased security down here. Yet another of these panels. Where did that trooper get to?
Huh? What was that?
And to be fair, Walker, there like I need to get my Xbox. I need to get the Xbox working anyway for other other games. Because I know eventually I'm gonna want to do. I just want to like stream, try and stream every Insomniac game. And I'm gonna need to get the Xbox working because Sunset Overdrive is still has not been released on anything other than Xbox and PC.
It is quite safe from your pitiful little band.
But there's also
Groups to attack coordinates.
what else is there?
Witness the firepower
Yeah,
of
but
this
I miss
Rare,
playing games.
an
Rare Replay.
operational battle station. Fire at will,
I really want
Commander.
to do. There's a lot of games on Rare Replay that I really want to do. But yeah, no, I get missing playing game for
That
me.
thing's
Like
operational.
there are a lot of games I really wish we could play together, but
I can feel your
require
anger.
me getting my Xbox
Strike
working
me
again.
down with all of your
Um,
hatred, and your journey
but
to
it
You know
saddens
what
me.
really irritates me?
will be complete.
Yeah,
I bought GTA for 2 people just so they would play online with me because I need people to help me with some of my uh, stuff.
yeah.
Neither one of them will touch the game. Neither one of them have it installed anymore.
I mean, I still have it. I still have GTA installed. The problem is I haven't installed on an entirely different system where we can't play together.
And I don't believe you'll destroy me now.
Well, I have it on PC, but or well, my laptop, but like I'm talking about like GTA on my Xbox,
I know.
and it's even worse because the Series X has its own standalone version of just the online.
Yeah.
So now, even if they did start playing it again, the servers are separated because of the console specs.
That
So even if they wanted to, they couldn't join it.
well that and that's weird because as far as I know that's
I feel
the
within you the
the
conflict.
PlayStation version the PlayStation version has can't think of something has it where the PlayStation PlayStation 4 and 5 can still play together even though the console specs are
Well,
different.
I don't. I don't actually know if the Xbox One version can play with the Series S version.
Right.
I just assumed so because it gave me a warning that I skimmed through when I was transferring my character to the new version.
No, I think I think the way it works there is more if you transfer a character you can't transfer it back essentially. But you should be able to play Xbox with Xbox, PlayStation with PlayStation. So it's the game is cross gen, it's just not cross platform. Because I know a decent chunk of games that do allow you to do stuff like that outside of outside of GTA.
If you will not turn to the dark side, perhaps she will.
Never!
Hey Dad, isn't it weird that our lightsabers randomly change into baguettes and then when when we're not in control of each other and the film comes in, the cutscenes come in that somehow they go back into being lightsabers?
I'll never turn to the dark side. I am a
Oh,
Jedi,
Kevin.
like my father before me.
It
Welcome
did
back,
it again.
Walker.
Jedi.
Why are you cackling like a person?
Palpatine having the fake Lego lightning instead of his actual lightning. I forgot they actually do that joke twice. You know what? I wonder I can't remember. They might actually do that joke 3 different times.
I expected nothing more from the pathetic scout.
It's over! You have lost!
Because if I remember correctly, they do they did in episode 3 when
I am tired.
They were shaking him down.
yeah, they did in episode 3
Or
when
no, he was trying to pull out his lightsaber and he just pulled out the fake lightning.
no, he pulls out the fake lightning hang on. He pulled out the fake lightning while trying to actually use the real lightning, but he did it against he was doing it against Mace Windu during that scene, and then here he does it again against Luke. I think they might do it. They might actually do it a third time in Rise of Skywalker. Um, when when Rey and Rey and Kylo Ren are fighting him. But I don't remember. It's been a while. I think the last time I actually messed with the last time I messed with the actual episodes, the individual episodes, was completing them in my personal save file for just doing the free play.
Has Phantom said anything in a while?
Not really. I don't know if Phantom's been quiet because he
Oh,
just
they're muted.
oh. I was gonna say I don't know if Phantom hasn't said anything because they don't have anything to say or because of connection issues.
Oh,
No,
they're muted.
yeah,
So maybe they're making ice cream or getting food or just not there.
I think the point is like right now that is just like one way or the other. There's just not much to say right now. Oh right, the red guys. I should probably take care of them. Yes, I know they have a name. I don't remember what it is. I also
I wasn't gonna say anything, but now that I ain't, now that you've opened the door,
no, I'm saying
you
that
know what
more.
they're called?
I'm saying it more for the YouTube re-upload, so no one, because like I don't care if anyone gives any shit about it. It's almost like it's not important. Unlimited pancakes.
Stop this vicious behavior. You are beaten. Your brutal skills are the magical power of the dark side.
And Palpatine is down. We'll see him again in episode 9. Oh, I've also been waiting for. I've been waiting the entire time for this.
You were right.
Etu Vader.
You already have
What?
Luke.
Yeah, never mind. Someone will get that reference.
Well, maybe would have gotten it if I had heard you. What did you say?
I said to Vader.
The shield is down. Commence attack on the Death Star main reactor.
We're on our way.
Oh, so I guess Vader just turned back to Anakin and threw
Yeah,
threw
just,
Palpatine off. Did his hair grow
what?
back?
Huh?
Did his hair grow back?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I don't remember if that happens in the game. It'd be funny if it did. Just like, oh yeah, I'm Anakin again, and his hair grows back instead of his helmet being there.
I honestly could have sworn the Death Star, like blowing up the Death Star. I might be misremembering. But I thought
I'm sure Luke will
Lando
flying
through the Death Star was
All right. I understand.
I can't think of
I
something.
won't get away.
It's not
I
like that at all.
I could have
It's
sworn
not.
Lando flying through the second Death Star and blowing it up was a mission in this game.
Is it? Oh yeah, no, I don't think it is.
It might be a mission in one of because I vaguely remember it being a mission in one of the other.
Oh yeah, I know it's a mission in one of the others. Don't get me lying on which one.
Because like worst comes to worst, I know it's at least a mission in episode in Lego Star Wars 2. I at least think it's an mission in Star Wars 2.
Okay. Hey, Casey's calling me, so I'm gonna dip.
All right, tell him I said I.
Okay. Bye.
Phantom, you back?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you were muted there for a bit.
Right. Yeah.
All right, well, that's Return of the Jedi done.
Right.
I mean, I could still. I've got about. Wait, what time is it? Nah, I got about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'll just keep doing a free play until time's up.
Right.
So how are you?
There doesn't seem to be anyone here. Let's go back and tell Master Luke.
What were you doing earlier?
Oh, like when I was muted?
Yeah.
It was just I was looking up some stuff.
All right. What
Yeah, I was just looking up
are
for
we talking
for papers and stuff, and I didn't want the papers to get onto the mic.
about? Ah, gotcha. Complete the Lua and Chewbacca area without causing any trouble. Pick up and throw 5 objects at the Rancor using Force. Okay. So I'm assuming I just gotta do this section without the alarm being
Yeah.
activated. Fuck. Um, I bet someone like I'm probably am gonna call this episode Last Jedi, and someone's gonna look at it. And it's like, wait, why is episode 6 Last Jedi? Because we've had stupid names for each episode, and you haven't been
Yeah.
paying attention. That's why. The burger. There it goes. Mhm. Yeah, I am still kind of disappointed when it comes to the Star Wars series.
What?
Um, with the special edition, they replaced a lot of the special edition um re-releases. They replaced the original guy who did Anakin in at the end of Episode 6 with Hayden
Yeah.
Christensen. Like, not
Right.
to be fair, nothing against Hayden Christensen. It's just like that. It's weird you have when you still have Obi-Wan as a Force Ghost, like still
I
be
can't see.
um
Your eyesight will return in
you
time.
have Obi-Wan as
Who are
Force
you?
Ghost still be
Someone who loves
the guy who played Obi-Wan in the
Leia,
original trilogy, but you
Yeah.
retroactively like it just kind of
I
weird.
know that laugh.
Although I guess the implication
Jabba.
is
I was just on my way
supposed
to
to be
pay you back,
a
but I got a little
oh
sidetracked.
he goes back like he's back to the Jedi he was,
You
which
will take
is
me to Jabba
like
now.
right before he became a
Tell who's
Sith.
Jabba now.
I guess that's what it means. Either way, it's still kind of bullshit. Well,
Right.
I say bullshit. It's more just kind of awkward. Um, and I mean, I know I know it's
No thanks.
something similar in um they do something similar in Avatar. Like people were wondering like
Now,
why is
please
Aang's
repeat
avatar
after
state
me.
him when
You
he's
will make
older when
sure that
most
Jabba
avatars are
knows I
like
am a Jedi
the
Knight.
moment of their biggest achievements, and
Master,
it's like,
develop
well,
that
because
Snoke Skywalker,
Aang's biggest
Jedi
achievement
You will bring Captain
um
Solo and the Wookiee to me.
I think it's because canonically Aang's biggest achievement is when he had his children, and it's like, oh, he's no longer the last of the air
Yeah.
nomads. I mean, it's still kind of weird, but at least it's kind of it makes sense
Mhm.
with the I mean, I typically prefer the despecialized editions
Yeah.
of Star Wars over the original. Although there are a few things that I'll at least give the special editions credit for, because
Mhm.
I think some of the things that the special editions add, like um they bring up lore that wasn't a thing in the series until until like the prequel trilogies. So like the special editions adding that bit of lore that is in the series that was in the series after the prequels, like that's a change that I can look at and say, yeah, it's kind of weird, but I that's a change that makes sense um
Mhm.
as opposed to some of the dumber changes. Um, and to be fair, there are worse changes. There are worse changes I've seen for movies.
Yeah.
Although it's funny because a lot of the times the director edition some movies are supposed to be like the better versions, and
Yeah.
in certain cases, um, in some cases it's actually been the opposite, where the theatrical release is their version.
Yeah.
Although it's still funny to me that there's 3 fucking versions of Blade Runner because Ridley Scott couldn't make up his fucking mind.
Let's go back and tell Master.
Uh-huh.
Although, to be fair to Ridley Scott, it was more, it was less of a he couldn't make up his mind and more of a, less of a he couldn't make up his mind, more of a he he wanted to make the definitive version of his film, and every time he
Right.
like the different versions are because he genuinely had a chance to fix problems.
Uh-huh.
I think the original theatrical release of um the original theatrical release he was forced to um add an ending that kind of ruined the story, and the final cut, the theatrical, not theatrical, director's cut, and the
Uh-huh.
yeah. And I still I personally prefer the
I don't care.
okay then.
What?
Oh, I heard I don't care, and I thought you were talking to me.
No, I was looking at something else. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that for you.
No, it's fine. Um, what was I saying? Oh, but
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry. I was scrolling through Twitter and just found some stupid bullshit, and I'm just like, I just don't care about it, and I just logged off.
Twitter, stupid bullshit.
Yeah, I know,
So,
right?
so an average day on Twitter. Got it.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
yeah. I'm still angry that Elon Musk thought it was a good idea to buy Twitter, and ever since then, the only thing he's done is make Twitter worse.
I mean, it's always been shit. It's always
Yeah,
been shit.
yeah, but it was a fun shit. Now it's just shit.
No, it's always been shit.
Eh. Um, what was I saying? Oh, I actually prefer like if you're gonna watch if you're gonna watch the original Blade Runner, like watch the final cut because
Right.
it's honestly it is the best version of the film. That and I remember when it was coming out being actually being kind of upset that they were making a sequel to Blade Runner because it did I felt it didn't need a sequel. Um, Blade Runner 2049 is still a good movie.
I mean, to be honest, I never watched the Blade Runner series, so I don't know.
Um, well, it's interesting because there was only if I remember correctly, there technically was only one Blade Runner movie. I think Philip K. Dick wrote 2 sequels after the movie came out, which doesn't help because the sequels were also like Blade Runner 2 and 3 instead of naming them something similar to the original book. But
Right.
no, Blade Runner 2049 was an actually good it was a good sequel. Like it actually felt like it. I don't think Ridley Scott worked on it. I don't remember, but I do. I remember liking 2049 and thinking, yeah, this actually feels like the this doesn't feel like they're just making a sequel just for the sake of making a sequel. It feels like they actually had a story to continue off from where the first one ended.
Uh-huh.
Um, which I know a lot of Hollywood productions,
Hey, R2,
especially
thanks for your
nowadays,
help.
are more focused on, yeah, we're gonna we're gonna bring back this franchise because it's popular. But I am definitely happy when a sequel to a movie, especially a sequel to a movie that I liked, doesn't feel like
Yeah.
it doesn't just feel like a cash grab. It actually feels like no, we actually have a story. I mean, to be fair, a lot of sequels are just in general. A lot of sequels are cash grabs,
Yeah.
but having a movie like it's one of the reasons why I liked it's one of the reasons why I liked um Ghostbusters Afterlife, because it definitely felt more like we actually have a story to tell that is a proper continuation of the last film, as opposed to the 2016 movie with the all female cast, which
Mhm.
literally was made because they wanted to make a new Ghostbusters film.
Yeah.
And to be somewhat fair to that film, like they um I hear that movie, the 2016 film, is like okay, but I have no interest in that film whatsoever.
Yeah.
I still to this day have not seen it, and I kind of just
Mhm.
refuse to see it.
Yeah.
Um, but like I don't want to say that the 2016 film was god awful. It's just like it didn't need to exist. It's there to make money off the brand. Um,
Yeah.
and for a lot of people, I think I think you mentioned it on stream one time. I can't remember how long ago it was, but like you had mentioned like the Ghostbusters video game from 2009 feels more like a
Yeah, it feels more like a Ghostbusters free than whatever the shit Hollywood put out.
yeah. Well, and at least Afterlife actually feels like a Ghostbusters movie.
I guess.
Um, it it was it was kind of set up as a passing of the torch, like here's this younger cast that if we do a sequel, they're gonna take up the Ghostbusters mantle. Um, which I think is like the intention, but it felt more of a
Yeah.
it felt more of a genuine continuation, and that and I think the guy who made um the guy who made Afterlife was actually the son of I can't remember the son of the guy who made the original Ghostbusters.
Yep.
So at the very least, it's made by people who know the franchise and understand like what the fans wanted. Oh shit! Uh, the game just crashed.
Oh.
I beat
Shit.
I beat the shit out of Jabba and the game crashed.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, crap. I still got about. I mean, I can cut it here, but I still got about 15 minutes.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna I'll transition to the stream ending screen, but not really much left to do tonight. So chances are tomorrow we're gonna move on to sequel trilogy. Although I can postpone that and just do a lot of fucking Star Wars spin-offs that people actually care about.
Yeah.
And by Star Wars spin-offs people care about, I mean I guess Star Wars Demolition. What do I have?
If you want.
What do I have? Star Wars. Let's see. On PlayStation, I have Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which was the game that Walker was talking about earlier. I have Racer's Revenge, I have Jedi Starfighter, I have Demolition, and I have Super Star Wars. So I can show off any one of them. Oh shit, I forgot I had Legend of Dragoon installed on my PlayStation.
Oh, okay.
That's not even for a Star Wars thing, it's just I forgot I had that. I need to actually play that. It's one of the few positive things I can say about them adding, it's one of the few positive things I can say about them starting to add, like, classic games, because the fact that PlayStation actually remembers their classic games exist it makes me happy. Although most of the games that they've been re-releasing are basically, oh, here's this PlayStation 3 game that you can stream on your PlayStation 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I know the PlayStation 3 architecture is really weird, but it'd be better if I had the way to play these natively instead of streaming. Because what if my internet connection sucks?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I know one of the reasons why they go this route with a lot of PlayStation 3 games. There is the compatibility. There's the it's easier to just have them streamable, but it saddens me that that's the only way to play the original Ratchet and Clank games on PlayStation 4 and 5. Like they never I know they re-released a lot of their PS2 games, during the PS4 era. Well, I say a lot. They re-released a handful. Yep, this is definitely a song that I have on my laptop. I'm gonna look over at my music and see what I have. Anyway, but I think the biggest reason they never released the the actual PS2 versions of Ratchet and Clank is mostly due to the fact that the Jak and Daxter re-releases were not great. But to be fair, it's almost as if those games were meant with PS2 hardware in mind, and putting them on anything that isn't the PlayStation 2 kind of makes them a little weird and wonky. Which I at least commend the people doing the fucking Jak and Daxter decompilation project that's going on. Because those are those are legitimately the best ways to play the those are becoming the best way to play the Jak and Daxter series.
Mm-hmm.
I say that they still haven't done Jak 2. They're working on that one, but with how badly the PlayStation 4 port of Jak 2 was, I'm not surprised they're taking their time.
Right.
Because I know I know the PS4 version, the PS4 port of Jak 2 had like it had graphical and it had graphical issues. I think it might have had like lag in certain places where there wasn't lag, and it's less of the port was badly optimized and more of a, like I said, it's almost like a game that was meant with the PlayStation 2 architecture in mind, being on a system that's not PS2 and can't really replicate the architecture that well, doesn't seem to run well.
Yeah.
It's the biggest reason we never. I'm honestly convinced those Jak ports and how they were received is one of the reasons we never got actual ports of Ratchet and Clank, and the only versions that we have available are the PS3 remasters, which like even those remasters aren't perfect, but they're at least they are at least better than the Jak ports for PlayStation 4. Although I know Limited Run Games. Limited Run Games did a ton of the PlayStation 2 games that were ported to PlayStation 4. They did physical releases of them, and they did do the entire Jack series on PS4 and made special editions where they actually put out for those special editions. First off, they had different collectibles based off of each game. I think the special edition of Jack 1 actually had a replica precursor, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But each of the special editions actually comes with a USB flash drive that is made to look like a PlayStation 2 memory card.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have any of the special editions, but I do have one of the I do have one of the replica PlayStation 2 memory card USB drives. I'm sad because it stopped working about a year ago for me. But it's a really cool. It is a legitimately really cool collectible. And I like when I like when companies do stuff like that for special editions. Although it's still better than when Nintendo did the special edition of I think it was Xenoblade Chronicles X. The flash drive with that had the soundtrack on it, but they had it as an actual. They didn't have like the individual files as an MP3. They had it as an app on the flash drive that you had to boot up to listen to the soundtrack. And then what made it worse was the flash drive itself was only like a gigabyte in space, so it's like they really kind of just cheaped out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough that the files on there aren't actually like MP3 files. It's a weird application that you have to run, but the fact that it's also it's only a fucking gigabyte is more upsetting. So you can't even use it as. I mean, you could use it as a proper flash drive. It's just you're not holding shit on that.
Yep.
Although I know one novelty flash drive that I still have is my I have when Tron Legacy came out in 2010, Disney did this whole marketing push, which I think is one of the reasons why we haven't gotten another Tron film, because with all the marketing they had towards Tron, that movie ended up just not performing to Disney standards. But one of the they actually released like novelty flash drives based off of the light cycles from Tron, and I still have one. And I'm actually surprised it does still work. But what's cool is it when you plug it into a USB drive, it'll actually make the sound of a light cycle, and it'll light up. It's a nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It originally actually had I think I formatted it and lost them, but it had promotional stuff for Tron Legacy too. So it even had I think it had like actual 3D models of light cycles that you could look at. I fairly sure it had the Tron Legacy trailer on it. But the flash drive itself is like 8 gigs, and that's more of a substantial flash drive as opposed to the fucking Xenoblade Chronicles one. And I think the Jack and Daxter memory card flash drives, each of them were like 16 gigs. So if you got all of the If you got all the special editions, you would have gotten about like, what was that, 100, not 128, that would have been 64 gigs, give or take. That would have been, that's a fairly decent, I mean, it's still like 4 flash drives, but it's like that's still a decent takeaway. I also remember if you got all 4 Jack and Daxter games from Limited Run Games, they would have sent you a special disc that was like that had a special theme for PlayStation 4 based off of the canceled Jack 4 that Naughty Dog was making that ended up becoming Last of Us of all things.
Mm-hmm.
Which it is weird to me. I understand like that Jack 4 was canceled because they wanted to make it look a little more realistic, and then they thought, oh, this doesn't actually fit with Jack and Daxter. But how the hell do you go from Jack and Daxter to fucking Last of Us? That's the thing that's weird to me. I also feel like it's dumb. I'm probably gonna actually end the stream here in a minute. But I think it's dumb that uh I finally about a month or two ago finally found out why people hated like the plot twist that everyone hated in Last of Us Part 2. And I'm kind of surprised that it took me a couple of years to finally figure out what that plot twist was. But it's like, wow, that's actually it's bad enough that you kill, because I think what it was I learned, like, I knew in the game one of the biggest twists, like in the marketing they showed Joel in the game, but he dies early on in Last of Us Part 2. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait, why are people so pissed that they killed off Joel and you don't actually play as him? And it didn't occur to me that the actual reason people were pissed was because one of the playable characters is the character who actually killed Joel.
That's the reason, but the reason is you've killed off previous main character that people were, attached to, and you killed them off in a fucking way that was very dissatisfying, and it probably should not have been done.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like it's I I'm not upset that I'm not upset if you kill off a character, but if you like from what I heard, from what I remember hearing, is like one of the reasons people were upset were because the character one of the characters you play as is the character who killed Joel, and they try to
Yeah,
paint,
and that's
well, and
yeah.
more they tried to paint. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem. It's like you've showed the character killing Joel, a previous character that everyone loves. Now you're expecting the player to try and develop a relationship with the killer.
Well,
That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing is they tried to paint because I don't know who the new character is, but they tried to paint her as sympathetic, didn't they?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, they are trying to, but it's like, no, you're not going to receive sympathy from people when you're being shown murdering the past main character. You're not going to do
Yeah.
that. Like, I mean, it would have been better if they started with Abby first, because that's her name, Abby.
Yeah.
Like, build up to her, and then show her, killing off Joel, and then do Ellie's story with the revenge. That would make a lot more sense, in my opinion.
Yeah. Which.
But it's like, no, it's because fucking Neil Druckmann's a goddamn hack.
Yeah. No. That's one of the. I'm kind of surprised that I somehow wasn't actually spoiled with that reveal for the longest time. Because again, I think I knew around the time the game came out that they killed off Joel, but I never
Yeah.
knew. I didn't know that you played as the killer for a decent chunk.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the thing is this. It's like they're trying to they're trying to make this big message that, oh, revenge is not the way. And it's like they do it in the worst fucking way possible.
Yeah, and they could like there are like it's not that the message is a terrible message. It's that they handle it in such a piss poor way.
Yeah, they handle it in a piss poor way, and it's as deep as a kiddie pool.
Oh. And that's just that in and of itself is disappointing.
It's stupid when we talk about the ending too. It's because it's like, okay, I'm going to go out and kill and maim every single enemy I see, but Ellie is going to spare this one character for no fucking reason.
Yeah, and like that to me is like, man, you somehow missed the entire point of the message you were trying to tell.
I mean, it would be a lot better and make sense mechanically if you could stealth your way through or at least knock enemies out.
But
That would make a lot more sense. But no, we can't have that.
play to gameplay. Yeah, the gameplay is not fitting with the story.
Well, shit. I mean, yeah, it doesn't fit with the story, and they want to force you in the combat situations. Like, and they want to make you as the player feel bad for doing all these things, but you railroaded me to this in the first place.
Yeah, I think one of the only times I played a game where I've actually felt bad harming a character, and it was the intention to make me feel bad, was something like fucking Undertale. But at least there's an option to not harm any of the characters. They're not
Right.
they're not forcing you like, oh, you absolutely have to. I think the only time they technically do is during the Asgore fight at the very end, and even then, like, you can still spare him.
Uh-huh. And it's been done even earlier in fucking Metal Gear Solid 3, back in like what, 2005?
Actually,
It's not
because
I
I
mean
have the game. Sorry,
right. I mean
go ahead.
it's not new. In fact, it's like it's beneficial if you don't kill people, like pragmatically and also very reasonably.
Well, and I mean that's also like it's not even just Metal Gear
Haunt you.
It's not even just Metal Gear Solid 3. But I see what you mean. Like in Metal Gear Solid 3, there's actual story reasons as to like if you go guns a blazing, you get to the
to the end boss fight. Not the end. It's not the fear.
The game judges you. It is what you're getting.
Yeah, essentially.
I can't remember. I know like there's the river.
There's the joy, there's the fear, there's the pain, there's the fury. There's the end.
Isn't the end the sniper?
Yes, the end is the sniper, but
that's what I thought.
I can't. Fuck. Give me a fucking moment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
By the way, I did double check my copy. I think it wasn't 2005. It was 2004. But.
Oh, right.
But
Sorrow. That was Sorrow.
Oh yeah, the Sorrow. Okay, but it's not even Metal Gear Solid 3 that does that. Like to get the best rank in all of the other Metal Gear games, you have to essentially play the entire game without killing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and heck, even
like you're sensitized to not kill.
Yeah, and even I think Metal Gear Solid, for me anyway, Metal Gear Solid 2 also is one of the only times, is one of the few times where they've where all the marketing says, yeah, you're playing as Snake, and then you end up playing as an entirely different character, where it has actually worked. I know people were upset at Raiden, but it's still playing as a different
Well,
character didn't ruin the point of the story.
yeah, it didn't ruin the point, and I'm gonna be honest. I think the problem with Raiden, at least in Metal Gear Solid 2, was that it was both the social expectations of what a character like Raiden should look like, and as well as how Raiden is written in certain cases.
Yeah, like Snake in Metal
But
Gear Solid. Sorry, go ahead.
okay, but here's the thing. I feel like it's not that. Okay, yeah, there's some people that hate Raiden, but I think a lot more people hated Rose, and that hatred carried towards on Raiden.
Yeah, Rose was just kind of
Ro-
uncomfortably
she
written
is,
too.
yeah, she is the biggest bitch in the game, probably even in the whole series.
I don't even want to call her a bitch. She's just annoying.
I mean, yeah, she's annoying, but in Metal Gear Solid 4, I understand why she did it, but it made the whole
It,
situation worse with Raiden.
yeah. And in Metal Gear Solid 2, I think one of the other problems people had with Raiden is you go from this badass character in Snake with Metal Gear Solid 1, and then you get to Metal Gear Solid 2, and Raiden's just like I'm not saying Raiden isn't a badass, but he's like
He's a
he's
Bishonen.
he's a fucking dork.
He's a dork and a pretty boy, and that's why I think a lot of people hated him. And
Yeah.
you can especially look at magazines at the time who would draw him very curvily, at least in some magazines, like very curvily,
Yeah.
more girlish. They essentially thought he was gay.
With
And at that time, being gay was a very negative stereotype, especially in the early 2000s. It treated
yeah.
as a joke. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of it was unfortunate. Well, and that's why I like that Metal Gear Solid 4 for a lot of people actually made him kind of turn Raiden into the badass that people were hoping he would be in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, because he turned cool. He looks cool. He acted
Yeah.
cool. That's why people started liking him more.
Yeah, and I think the best juxtaposition, like the best he's still kind of a dork, but he's at least still badass. For Raiden was Revengeance.
Right. Yeah.
It's very hard. I should probably end the stream here real quick, but
Right.
I just want to finish my train of thought before I do. Like it's very hard to do a badass character and a badass character who's also still kind of a dork. Like one of the few good examples I can think of is probably Leon from the original Resident Evil 4. Like not even the remake. Like Leon from Resident Evil 4 is still like he is still a dork in that game, but he's at least that's kind of the charm of the game. The game is meant to be like B movie horror.
I mean, yeah, we could also go more recent with Ichiban in Yakuza Like a Dragon, or just Yakuza 7.
Oh yeah, no, he is.
He's a big fucking dork with a really big heart, but he could still like fucking dish out shit whenever he needs to.
Yeah, I haven't even played. I need to play. I need to play Like a Dragon, so fucking bad. But he is like but I know exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, he's a dork, but he's a fun dork, and that's
yeah,
that's what I like. Like that's what makes a lot of characters, a lot of dork characters fun. Like if you can make them at least endearing. Like I still, out of all the Metal Gear games I've played, Metal Gear Solid 2 is still probably my favorite story-wise, but even then, like, that's not saying that the writing is impeccable. It's just I like the story that they were trying to tell with that one.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, that and to be fair, I also I own a copy of Metal Gear Solid 3 and I still haven't played all the way through.
Yeah, you probably should.
I really should. I'll definitely make that I will definitely make Metal Gear Solid. I'll do like a Metal Gear Solid stream. Like just do the games.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, honestly, like the
damn good
one the
games.
one Metal Gear Solid that takes out with Peace Walker. That's the goddamn PSP exclusive game. Well, technically PSP exclusive. It got re-released on Xbox, but
Xbox and PS3.
oh
It did get a PS3 release.
yeah, but it's like a really like Peace Walker. Maybe it's because it's not just a stealth, but it's you're also building up your forces, you're building bases, you're going on all these different missions. Yeah, sometimes the core gameplay loop could get tedious, but I thought it was pretty fun. It
Hey,
was really fun. And I
it's at
wanted
least
to.
sorry. Sorry about that. I kind of interrupted you. What were we saying?
Yeah, okay. What are my thoughts? Yeah, core gameplay loop can't be anything, but it's fun. It allows you to work with style, and you're not like deeply penalized for going loud, but it does allow you to switch between play styles,
Yeah.
and also match as with certain different weaponry that allows you to do different things. And it's like Metal Solid 5 does to an extent, but I don't know. It just feels off.
Yeah. Well,
Like
and granted,
I
I
wanted to do, like co-op.
yeah, I don't think I still feel like MGS5 is just not complete. And granted,
I
that's
mean, yeah,
part of that was Konami taking over Kojima. But
yeah. I mean, it's still a pretty good game. Like it's that it hit
you're cutting out on my end.
that I'm working more on the stuff, just trying to add all these things. You have to ship a product at some point.
Yeah.
You just keep a game in development forever. You have to ship it.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw the I've hired this cat
Shit
to
like
stare at
that
you.
we got things like fucking and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember that shit's fucking awful? Because a lot of
Uh,
people pointed with MGS
sorry,
out
you're cutting out, so
to
I'm not hearing the all of what you're saying.
oh sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about the Ruse Cruise and how many people just essentially were so MGS5 that they started, digging through a ton of shit to try this whole thing of Konami fired Kojima and removed the company. They're just saying no, no, no. That was a trick
Yeah.
and shit like that. It was like I guess the best comparison that I could that's like that. It's kind of like Kojima and Konami.
Hang on, I'm gonna stop stream real quick.